So I am mad excited. Don't let this calm music fool you. All right, I'm gonna get this out of here because it's time to get hype because Shark Week is here, motherfuckers. We're in the middle of it, and I'm still alive. I don't know about you. Have you gotten attacked by a shark yet?
Nope, but I'm about to take a bite out of crime.
And you never know what could happen in the next hour.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
The Natural Habitat Podcast.
You're gonna take a bite out of crime?
The Natural Habitat Podcast.
What's his name? Crime dog?
McGruff, the crime dog?
Yeah, what's his first name? Scruff McGruff?
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know, what was his name?
The Natural Habitat Podcast.
Yo, everybody, boys and girls, cartoon dogs, Scruff McGruff. Thank you for joining us today on the Natural Habitat Podcast. My name is Mikey Booyah.
My name is Shark in the background.
And today is a special day because we are doing a throwback of the ages, a throwback for the history books. All right, this throwback is all American. All right, this throwback is it's all Ascarican. This throwback is full of asparagus, and this throwback is all about Shark Week.
And it's all the way back to 1988.
I'm gonna edit
all began.
I'm gonna edit all that ridiculous shit out that I said. And yeah, 1988 was in July of 1988 was the very first Shark Week, and it's been going every year since then. Broadcast in over 72 countries. So if you're out there listening, you could thank us for Shark Week because myself and Joey here as Americans back in 1988, we were both very young, and our first words, my first word was shark, and your first word was week. We know that. We talk about it all the time, and we said it simultaneously at different parts of California, and someone overheard it through their both separate ears.
Yeah.
And they were like, "What is a Shark Week? Shark Week." And then he pitched it to Discovery Channel. And ever since then, it all went down in history. You can find it on Wikipedia.
And we never got our cut.
No, we never did. But one day we will. You know, we keep writing letters and emails, and something's gonna happen eventually.
Now we're doing our own Shark Week.
That's right. So we have a bunch of shit today. A bunch of intense shark videos.
Hey, come over here for a second.
Okay, what's going on? What's happening?
I don't know if we could use the name Shark Week.
I think
you know
what? I think you might be right, but there's a problem. We've used it a lot already.
Well, let's Mandela effect the shit out of this.
Okay.
And then we'll call it Sharks Week.
Sharks Week. Yeah, okay. That's what we've been saying the whole time. People don't know.
Nobody don't even know the difference.
Okay, I think it'll work. I think if we just, from now on, just start doing it like Sharks Week, then people will think that, that they just didn't notice and that it's their fault and that we didn't mess up. Okay?
Ready, break.
Okay. So, Sharks Week. I can't. That's it. I just fucking come back and say it right away.
Week. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, we got some great horrifying videos that we're gonna be watching, and we got some
Sharks Week's greatest hits.
Sharks Week's greatest hits, and damn, that's hard to say. And then we also have some bomb weed that we're gonna be smoking. But before we get into that, we are gonna get into our newest segment on the show. You know what this segment is, Joey?
What is this? Our morning motivationals?
Yes, our morning motivationals, which sounds suspiciously like a poop.
Yeah.
Yeah, a morning motivational sounds like a poop. You get that healthy poop out in the morning, and then you feel lighter. You feel like you're ready to take on the day.
It'll hold your hand through it.
And this is much like that, only you won't need to wipe afterwards.
Yeah.
So here is a short motivational speech from the late, great Steve Jobs, the creator of much used technology nowadays and the user of many psychedelic drugs. I don't know if those things are connected, but I just want to throw them out there. he was given the numbers by another dimension, is what I'm trying to get at. But we'll save that for another time. Here is a motivational speech from Steve Jobs.
For the past 33 years, I have looked in the mirror every morning and asked myself, if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I am about to do today? And whenever the answer has been no for too many days in a row, I know I need to change something. Remembering that I'll be dead soon is the most important tool I've ever encountered to help me make the big choices in life. Because almost everything, all external expectations, all pride, all fear of embarrassment or failure, these things just fall away in the face of death, leaving only what is truly important. Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose. You are already naked. There is no reason not to follow your heart. About a year ago, I was diagnosed with cancer. I had a scan at 7:30 in the morning, and it clearly showed a tumor on my pancreas. I didn't even know what a pancreas was. The doctors told me this was almost certainly a type of cancer that is incurable, and that I should expect to live no longer than 3 to 6 months. My doctor advised me to go home and get my affairs in order, which is doctor's code for prepare to die. It means to try and tell your kids everything. You thought you'd have the next 10 years to tell them in just a few months. It means to make sure everything is buttoned up so that it will be as easy as possible for your family. It means to say your goodbyes.
What the fuck? That took a sad turn. I didn't know that was going to happen.
Yeah.
But
Never know what you're gonna get, right?
yeah.
But it's true. It's true. It's a sad truth, but it's true. You know, like you never know. So you could die tomorrow.
You
know,
should live every day like it's your last.
Yeah. Why not?
And also, don't go to doctors. My belief is that if you go to a doctor and a doctor finds something and tells you, "Oh, you have 2 months to live," but you're like, "I was just fine before I came here. Like everything was cool. I just came here for a checkup, and now you're telling me I got 2 months to live." And then you think about it, and then you know you're going to die, and then you kill yourself because you give up the will. So if you never go to the doctor and you never find out, then it just becomes another thing, like an ingrown hair or a tumor or some sort of bump on your head that is whatever, you know, just kind of let it happen. Let it go. I'm fine.
All right. Moving right along.
Uh-huh. So
You got some cool shark facts?
we do, but before we get into that, I think we need to get into a smoke sesh.
Holy shit, Jay! That sounds right on time.
Because it's only right that we get into these shark facts and these shark videos high as fuck. So, you earlier sent me the link to the most fitting smoke sesh song for the day. So let's get into it. You ready?
I'm ready.
Everybody out there, feel free to smoke with us. Flick your bics, snap your pics, and hashtag them NHP Smoke Sesh. We actually got a couple more entries on the website. I just put them up today.
Nice.
So go check those out and get your face or your weed or your pipe or your cool bong or whatever you got added to our gallery at naturalhabitatpodcast.com. Man, that's my shit. I have like memories of being really young and that being like one of the first out of control songs that I heard. You know what I mean? That was just like
swim right now. Yeah, it's iconic.
Yep. It has
on
that
some next level shit. It's been in so many things, and that helps it too. But it's just like an iconic, unforgettable sound. It's just so original.
Yeah, it must be cheap. You know what I mean? The rights,
that beach style sound.
the rights for the song must not be that expensive, because it's been in a lot of things. It's been in everything. But I'd like to start off this Sharks Week discussion by stating this officially on record. My name is Mikey Booyah. Today is let's see, what day is this coming out? Does it make it more official if I say the day that we're recording it or the day that it's released? If I'm trying to do a binding contract. Okay, my name is Mikey Booyah. Today is June 28th. Is it Scout's Honor?
Yeah.
Scout's Honor, 3 fingers and 1 for the stink. Today is June 28th, and you are hearing this on June 30th. I am in sound mind, and I would like to state, fuck sharks and fuck the ocean.
Yeah.
All right,
sure.
That's on record, and you'll never hear me say anything different.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably as scared of sharks as anybody in the ocean, but really,
it's a beautiful
It just
thing.
depends on like the scenario.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of Shark Week videos on TV the past few days, and for the Shark Week, not Sharks Week, what we're doing, but what some other, it's like some TV channel, they're doing it, and I've been watching a lot of shit, and there's a lot of people that just chill, that just stand in the water, and sharks will just kind of swim around and do whatever, do their thing, but then sometimes it's not that great, and you know, they'll tell you statistics like only 30 shark attacks are like reported a year, and out of those only like 5 are fatal, and you have more people are killed by falling coconuts in Asia than people killed by sharks around the world per year. I'm guessing. So they try to give you facts like that to put you in sound mind, but it seems like 50 to 30 attacks are too much already.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
We kill fucking hundreds of millions of sharks. You know, they don't kill none of us. You know what I'm saying? It's a definite imbalance for sure.
Yeah.
We're not even like really in their diet and shit anyways, but
I just found out recently.
I think it's mostly like times. You know, if you go around them in their feeding times, you're dumb. You know what I mean? Like if you fucking, there's times where they're docile and there's times when they're not. If you understand the animals, you know, you have a better chance of like surviving around them. But for the average person, I wouldn't suggest it. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't do it. I mean, if I had some like trained professionals with me and I was like in some fucking metal suit or some shit, I would fuck with a shark because I think it would be dope. You know what I mean? It would be cool to like be able to fucking reach out and touch one in its environment, you know. But at the same time, it wouldn't be no fucking great white or any dumb shit like that, you know. I'd be fucking with like a shark my size or smaller, or
a fucking bull shark, the most aggressive fucking sharks out there.
Yeah, I'm not trying to fuck with no dumb moves, you know?
So it's like, but yeah, I like if I'm in like a cage, you know, a shark cage, that's dope. I would do that if I had the resources.
That's fucking around too much, right? The only time you need to be in a cage is when you're fucking with the wrong one.
No, I'd rather just to ease my mind that I would be in the cage, not so much to where the shark doesn't eat me, you know, just so that I wouldn't trip, because I wouldn't be able to be in the water with the shark swimming around, because sharks move so much faster, and the water isn't our natural, you know, that's not where we live, so we can't move at all in the water. We move hella slow, so I have no fighting chance to get away if a shark does decide to bite me and see what I am. So just for myself and peace of mind, in the cage, I could probably do that.
Yeah, I just meant like, you know, the only place that they have cages is where there's big ass sharks. Yeah.
Yeah, otherwise people just free dive with the sharks.
Yeah.
Which I've been noticing.
Yeah.
But not for me, man.
Yeah, I'm not with it.
Yeah.
I'm not really fucking with it. I don't dig the ocean because You know, most of it's unexplored. We don't know shit about the ocean.
Yeah.
The ocean is its own universe right here on our planet that we don't know shit about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we could learn more about other planets just fucking studying our ocean than we could going to another planet. Like,
yeah, that shit's super fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. We're finding out more shit about the ocean from satellites every day than we ever thought was possible before. And that's just one way, you know? Like, that's not even, like, being underwater. It's actually exploring the shit, you know? And I don't know. I think there's probably so much out there that we don't know about.
Yeah. And it's like it's a trip that, like, there's all different types of life, like just, you know, sharks in general. There's sharks that will hang out around the coast and kind of go in and out and fucking sleep in like little caves and shit. And then there's sharks that will live way down at the bottom of the ocean, like deep sea sharks, and just chill around the floor. And then there's sharks that are open water sharks that are just in, you know, mid-ocean. They never come into the shore. They never go down to the floor of the ocean, and they never go up to the surface. And they're pretty much just floating in space. You know what I mean? It's just like space, just water. They can go in any direction. They're not held down by gravity. You know what I mean? And I found out that sharks' livers sometimes take up 25% of their body weight and 90% of like the inside of their body cavity. They're super huge, and they're filled with shark liver oil, which we like to take and use for things like make our faces tighter and shit like that. But it keeps them buoyant in the water. And other fish have like air pockets and like different shit inside their body that keeps them buoyant. But sharks are different in the fact that they have this like liver oil that's lighter than water. And they're fucking old as shit, 400 million years old, lived through 5 extinctions, and them and crocodiles are just like unchanged. And it's a trip, dude. It's weird how they're like, they're not like anything else. They don't have any bones. They're all cartilage. And even their jaw, because I was thinking about it, like you see like a shark jaw with all the teeth and shit, but there's no bones in a shark, and it's some sort of like super strong cartilage that their jaw's made out of.
Their whole
spine and everything.
Yeah, that's all they have is cartilage. They don't have any bones. That's true. So crazy. It's so crazy that something like so simple and crude can be such a perfect creation and like never need to change.
So why can't sharks be aliens?
Well, they think octopus are aliens.
Yeah, it's like, why couldn't some of this shit fucking be from some other planet?
Maybe they are.
And they're just chilling in our water, waiting for us to come in so they could steal us.
Maybe everyone is.
They'll steal us from our families, man. So I got some dope videos that we could watch. If you're down for that, I'm gonna share the screen. So let's see. This first one is, if you want to check it out with us, it's called 18-Foot Shark Attacks Cage, Great White Serial Killer on YouTube. Ricky Bobby Incorporated.
This cage is specifically built with bars on every side except the front, which is all plexiglass. So when I jump in there and float out,
all right,
30, 40
I thought it was open.
Look like an easy target
it's plexiglass.
All right, look.
Yeah, let's pause.
See what I mean?
Okay, yeah, that's a big fucking great white shark.
Look it, bro. The only time you're in a fucking cage is when there's big ass sharks around. They don't bring cages around any other reason. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to be in no cage ever. Trust me.
And it's like, he has fucking one side of the cage is all plexiglass. Fuck that. As soon as Brandon turns his back, so the shark thinks that he could get him.
And when Brandon takes an even more vulnerable position, the animal's confidence grows.
One side is plexiglass, like no bars?
Yeah, there's no bars, and it's just a big sheet of plexiglass.
Hell no.
Right? I thought it was open for a minute.
Fuck out of here.
Then, out of nowhere, an 18-footer shows up. But a cage may not be enough to stop it.
Dude, that's a fucking school bus.
He's biting the fucking floating device off the top of the cage. So the cage will
Taste
sing.
me. Sorry, taste.
The guy's screaming. You hear the bubbles? The dude is fucking screaming.
But pulling Brandon out now would only put him in greater danger. The
That had to
safest
be, like,
place
added
is
effect.
in the cage. If the cage stays in one piece.
I don't know, dude. That might have been him screaming.
One
They
floater's
probably got
function.
microphones on.
If the shark takes out the other one,
Say what?
the cage could sink
Actually,
to the
no,
bottom.
they don't. They don't even have the
Leaving
microphones on.
Brandon
Yeah, they have microphones inside their mask.
trapped.
No, they don't have no mask on. They have mouth breathers.
I want to say that he had the face mask that had the thing attached to the front, but it wasn't in his mouth. So he might have had a. Nope, you're right. He didn't have. Oh, you got it. You win. So they fucking Shark Week us.
They they do that. They're so clever, right?
God damn it. Yep.
Blowing bubbles and shit. Oh, that's so funny.
I was watching this
Busted,
thing.
motherfucker.
I was watching this thing on fucking on Hammerheads last night, and it was all about how fucking off the coast of Florida, there's this giant hammerhead called Old Hitler, and there's fucking there's like this other hammerhead that like is on the other end of Florida, like on the fucking south end of the coast, and his name's whatever. It wasn't as cool as Old Hitler, so I don't remember it. And they were trying to prove that they were the same shark and like going around and trying to find it and shit. And it was this big 20-foot hammerhead shark, and his fucking head was like 5 feet wide. They put a grid on the ocean floor, like a little PVC pipe grid where it was 2-foot squares, and it would swim over it. They would bait it and it would swim over it, and they'd be able to measure it on the grid. And they had this other thing that was like a fixed laser system, like a camera with 2 lasers that were exactly 2 feet like apart, and it just shot the lasers. So they would shoot the laser on the side of the fucking shark, take a picture, and then they would be able to use that to figure out exactly how long it was.
Yeah, that's smart.
And then it was just, there was some old dude that had like a cast on, and that was his excuse to why he couldn't do anything. And he was like leading the expedition, and he would just be on top of the boat, like just all yelling and fucking like, look at that shark, look at that, get down there with them sharks, and just putting everybody down there. And he was just old and crazy and all like hella eccentric, what you want out of Shark Week.
He wasn't even the captain.
Nope, he was just the leader of the expedition.
He was the leader of the shark.
And fucking yeah, like at one point all the lights went out and it was hella crazy. But they were talking about how big these fucking hammerheads get, and that shit's insane, dude. Hammerheads are some scary shits. Hammerheads, bull sharks, great whites, fuck them all. That's what I say. I don't know if anybody was looking for my opinion on it, but I think now is a good time to debut our official Sharks Week smoking game.
All right.
So this is a game that you guys can play along. We created it the other day when we were sitting back watching Shark Week.
Sharks Week.
No, we were watching Shark Week on Discovery Channel. Right now we're doing Sharks Week on the Natural Habitat podcast.
Yeah.
But we came up with it, and it's much akin to a drinking game in Mel Gibson phone call recordings. You know, you take a drink every time he says some sort of racial slur. And in this one, you take a drink every time that different things happen. So, you want to break down the rules? How many did we settle on?
I don't remember.
I want to say it was 5.
5?
5 basics.
5 basics. For
Are you gonna? Oh my god. This is just gonna. I'm not gonna remember to go back and cut that out, and it's just gonna be a long pause. So number 1.
All right, number 1 is not a rule. Actually, number 1 is a pre-rule, and you have to cut out a mustache for the screen and apply the mustache to the screen somewhere where you think it will line up with somebody's face. Every time it lines up with somebody's face, everybody has to take a hit except for whose turn it is, and then the turn changes every commercial.
And you get to move the mustache around?
Yeah, so like when it's your turn, you get to put it wherever you want.
Nice.
On the screen.
I'm going to try to put it down low on the boobs.
Yeah, but that's never going to line up on a face.
Everybody loves a mustachy boob. I'll just smoke every time it hits the boobs. All right, number 2 is anytime that you see a shark attacking an animal, you have to power smoke. So you have to have like a bowl packed and just keep hitting it, and keep packing new bowls until the animal either dies or gets away. So this is going to get you high right away. So,
all right, what's number 3?
Number 3, every time that a new type of shark is mentioned, then
nice.
You whenever they introduce something new, you smoke.
Yeah.
Number 4.
Nice, I like that.
You want to go number 4?
What's number 4? Every time a great white jumps out of the water?
That's right. Every time a great white jumps out of the water, you take 2 hits.
2 hits.
2 hits for the 2 shits that you're going to take in your pants when you see that happen in real life.
Yeah, because it's crazy.
And then number 5, every time that a diver screams underwater.
Or any added dramatic effect.
Yeah, any dramatic effect or some sort of weird whooshing noise, or when they make a shark growl, things like that.
Yeah.
I rewatched 8-Legged Freaks recently. You remember that movie with David Arquette?
Yeah.
And I realized that the spiders have like personalities and voices.
Yeah.
They all are like, and they like say a bunch of shit without saying it, and are just constantly like, they totally have personalities. And when like someone pulls a gun on them, they're like, and then they get shot.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
And I was like, what?
They should do that to the sharks on Sharks Week. We'll do that.
Yeah, we're gonna do that on Sharks Week.
Yeah.
So speaking of Sharks Week, I have another clip. This is an old school clip that I remember from my days of. I used to go and visit my dad, and my dad had this big cabinet that I had discovered at a certain age that was filled with pornography and a Girls Gone Wild subscription. He had like all the VHSs, you know what I mean? And it was like every Girls Gone Wild, and then he also had Banned from Television in there. So he had Banned from Television 1, 2, and 3. And I watched those, and in one of those was this shark attack. And it was a college girl that was they were on some sort of cruise or some sort of something for their class or something. And they were just taking a little swim, you know, having a little relaxing swim before they came back in.
Just a little swim.
Just a little swim. And this is what happened. It's called Girl Attacked by Shark. Shark Week. Have fun finding that.
In this incredible rare video, made seconds before the rescue boat reaches her, this 16-foot shark is clearly visible as it bites down on Heather's leg and drags her under.
Oh my God.
I thought I was down there for, minutes. But it was really only a few seconds.
I didn't even see her go under.
And he was shaking me like, just like a rag doll really hard. And I looked up and there's this blue water and all these little bubbles in it. And it was almost calm. It was, I remember thinking how pretty it was. I was pretty sure I was going to die. And
Fuck out
I don't
of
know
here.
why, but my mind went to my mom.
This bitch is fucking crazy. Are you serious?
Keep playing.
Mom saying that drowning is her biggest fear, you know.
Oh my
the worst
God.
place to go. And
This bitch fell overboard.
I was like, well, you know, it's that or,
bit.
you know, let the shark eat me. And so, I don't know. I felt like it was like my last moments and I still had a choice as to what I wanted to happen. I'm not sure how far he dragged me down. My hands were up in the air. And so I was, you know, at least 8 feet down. But then he brought me right back up, right in front of the boat.
It's the first key to Heather's survival, sheer luck. Her friends are right there to help.
And the people immediately grabbed onto my arms and were trying to pull me out. But the shark clamps down. It was like a tug-of-war between the shark and the people. I don't really remember much about them pulling me out of the water. I just remember that all of a sudden I was, you know, I was there and they were pulling me in and there was a pop.
Oh!
They pulled me into the boat and I go, and I looked down and my leg was gone.
Despite her brush with death,
So.
she believes that luck is on her side.
So,
Why was she in the water?
she's all, yeah, so I looked down and my leg was gone. So, feel sorry for me. Donate to my GoFundMe account.
My Jesus.
So, it's like, fuck that bitch. I don't believe any of that shit that happened.
No, why
Even though
was she
I
overboard?
saw a video.
Everybody was gawking over the shark, and she fell overboard probably.
No, I think that they were all swimming. If I remember it right, they were all swimming and just like cooling off. And she was like one of the only ones in the water still. Everybody else had like gotten back up in the boat. And fucking shark came up and snatched her. Jacked her, as they say. Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
You don't buy it? You don't buy any of that shit?
No.
No?
I think she's a dummy.
Yeah. That could be a possibility for sure.
Dummy. That's what I mean.
And they might have just been like, look, we're gonna retell this story so
Sharks
that
like dummies.
so that you don't sound retarded and we're gonna look out for you.
Yeah, that's what it is. Because she's putting her story on the air.
Yeah, they're just trying to get her famous.
Yeah, we're gonna recreate your story,
And it's still out there.
and we're gonna make a show off of it.
It's
Get
still
lots of views.
it's still on fucking being recreated dramatizations on Shark Week. That was like from last year's Shark Week. And that happened way back in the day. It was on a fucking banned from TV. And then now it's on a podcast. So it's like she's getting a lot of play from it. She did lose her leg. So,
Congrats.
you know. Yeah.
So,
All right. I got another one here. And this one is fucking brutal as fuck. I hadn't seen this until today. We saw a little piece of it.
really?
Yeah. And this is it's called Shark Chomps Man's Leg. Shark Week's 25
They're so
best bites.
creative.
I know.
Who's on their team, you know?
They really reached in there into their vocabulary. So let's
You
see.
got enough windows open there, champ?
Hey man, don't worry about my windows, okay?
A bull shark eats a lot of different things, and it's going to test a lot of things. And the way it tests things, it bites.
Oh shit.
Bro, yeah, the way it tests things. As soon as he's talking about it.
Suddenly takes interest in Ritter's calf,
Wow.
ripping muscle from bone.
Yeah, look at him. And then he's fucking razor sharp teeth. Oh, look at that shit.
Fortunately,
Dude, that's
Eric Ritter
mom's
survives
spaghetti.
this freak
Your head was
attack,
in the way. I gotta back this up.
ripping muscle from bone.
Holy shit, dude.
Fortunately, Eric Ritter survives this freak attack.
Damn.
And surgeons save his leg. And while he'll bear serious physical scars for the rest of his life, it hasn't diminished Eric's passion for learning about sharks.
For learning about sharks. It's like, what was that fucking That was like a South Park voice?
It
had him diminish his
So what are they
pace.
trying to say?
That he doesn't blame the shark. It wasn't the shark's fault, because I think that was the shark's fault. That shark like fucking grabbed his leg, pulled on it, and just like that, his jaw, the razor sharp teeth. Like you said, it was mom's spaghetti, dude. That skin was insane.
Holy shit, that's the best way to describe it.
Do you think it's too much to have that be the art for this episode?
Nah, that's cool.
Yeah, I think we should do it.
Screenshot.
Ooh, that is some brutal shit. Yeah, man, that's crazy. So you've already seen it because it's the art week for today. Art week for today's episode.
Art week for today's work.
Art week for the work today. Let's see. I think this counts as a smoke sesh because this is a video of a colossus, the great white, breaching. He's just jumping out of the water. So
this is when you're supposed to smoke. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna show you how Sharks Week works. Sharks Week works, and what you're gonna do is I'm gonna play listener number 1. You're gonna play listener number 2. Okay, Joey? We're sitting on the couch.
2's up.
Hey man, it's Shark Week, bro. You wanna watch some Shark Week?
Nah, man, it's Sharks Week.
Yeah, before we watch Shark Week, let's listen to Sharks Weeks by the Natural Habitat Podcast guys, because they're my favorite podcast. Let's put it on. Are you ready?
Yeah, man.
All right, let's go. Today's episode of the Natural Habitat Podcast is brought to you by Meister High End.
Whoa.
Meister High End. All right, go watch Shark Week now that you enjoyed Sharks Weeks.
Yeah, Sharks Week goes with Shark Week.
Peace.
Natural Habitat Recording.
Man, that episode was great. Now we have this new drinking game we could play for Shark Week.
Smoking, bro.
Oh, yeah. Did I say drinking? My bad. It's because I'm already high. I don't drink. All right. Turn on the TV, man. Oh, shit. It's the great white. Great white's jumping out of the water. That means we gotta smoke.
Great whites at Seal Island to help them
Holy shit,
surprise
man.
and
Let's
capture
do
their
it.
prey. This intense daily breaching behavior lasts the entire South African winter and may be unique to Seal Island. The very same great whites that readily fly out of the water here seem reluctant to fly elsewhere. Colossus has never been observed breaching from the water. And now, the team wants to know if Seal Island has given him his wings.
Yeah, I got him. Over there, look where I'm pointing you on. That general area.
They found him swimming about 1 mile south of the island in an area frequented by adult sharks.
Interestingly, the larger adult sharks have learned to feed further offshore where they can spend a longer time ambushing and stalking their prey, and so, not surprisingly, are more successful in this area.
It's been suggested the great whites may learn from watching each other.
Come on.
Colossus has likely seen other sharks jumping in this area.
Just tell me when you're ready.
Using a seal decoy towed behind the boat,
All right.
they hope to
Here
lure
it comes.
Colossus up from the deep and into the air.
Oh!
Just minutes into the tow,
Damn,
Colossus
son.
strikes. In only a few weeks here, he's learned that launching these surprise attacks is not only the best way to catch a seal, it's also the best way to beat rival sharks to the punch. Back into his dark realm, the giant descends. But the team hasn't seen the last of Colossus. As they deploy cameras and follow him into his underwater world, Colossus will return with a vengeance.
That's crazy, dude. That
yeah,
fucking
it is
shark.
crazy. And you know what else is crazy? Look at this picture I just seen.
That fucking shark was so fucking huge, son.
Yeah.
What's with this picture you just sent me?
Look at it. It shows you like sharks from their vision, from their point of view. When they look up at us at the top of the water, it shows you what they see.
Yeah, that we look strangely like a sea turtle and a sea lion, a human surfer.
Yeah. So you wonder why they get attacked. There's no wonder. You know what I mean? And they're attracted to like shiny things as well and bright colors because fish are shiny and bright colors.
Yeah, and fucking people want to have fucking bright, shiny, top of the line surfboards.
Yeah, and I mean like
and paint their toenails like Chuck Liddell.
There's no reason or wonder why they get attacked at all.
Yeah,
you know, and you gotta remember, everybody's intruding on their world. That's their habitat. They don't come on land and attack us.
Yeah,
they attack when we go in their water.
If they wanted to do that, I'm sure they could have over the past 400 million years.
Yeah,
they would have ended up coming on land. You know what I mean?
Probably could have, yeah.
But they're not about it. So
yeah, it's a trip, right?
Yeah, and like I was watching Shark Week Got Real yesterday. I was watching it and fucking it was me and Michelle. We're chilling, getting high, watching Shark Week, and we're like, whoa. And they're tracking all these fucking all these bull sharks and fucking great whites and shit. Yeah. And then they found this hammerhead that wasn't tagged yet. So they like caught it, fucking brought it up on the boat, and they tagged it. And the way that they did it, they fucking like put the tag on its like dorsal fin and fucking stabbed it 4 times with like this knife, and then fed like zip ties through it. And they fucking, it was like big industrial zip ties, not like the little thin ones that you like buy a bundle of. They were big, and the dude was like shoving them in there with like force, and then like fucking wrapped them around the back. And they didn't show him tightening it, but I'm sure that tightening it wasn't a pretty sight. And it was like we were both watching it, and it was like, whoa, that was kind of like, that was brutal. And whether they could feel it or not, it's still like, it's not just a little thing that goes underneath the skin. Like, you know, like how they say, oh, we're going to track them, and they come close and we pop them with this thing and it goes under their skin. And it, like, that's not how it is anymore. They're fucking like putting these big things on there with giant zip ties, and it got a little dark. Yeah,
I agree. But at the same time,
right, that's why we shouldn't be fucking with them. Why do we need to tag every fucking shark in the ocean? Why do humans need to be giving fucking social security numbers to sharks?
Well, we gotta see how they work. We gotta find out what they're up to.
It's true, but it's like
they could be trading information, nuclear secrets.
They could be working bombs. They could be working for anybody, really.
They could be sharkerists.
There could be a bunch of Jim Carreys inside of those sharks.
Yeah, they could
sweating
be
their balls off.
They could be like out to get us. You never know. Gotta protect themselves.
Gotta watch out. But as for me, I won't be fucking with no sharks or in the ocean. And if you're out there and you're a shark and you're listening to this, my name is Mikey Booyah. I know I said earlier that I hate you, but I'm gonna let that stand. I do. I'm afraid of you, but I will never put zip ties in your dorsal fin. That's a promise. Boy Scouts, Scouts honor. Boy Scouts honor? It's just Scouts honor, right? Scouts honor. You got anything to say to the sharks out there listening?
Nope. Fuck you, sharks.
All right. Sweet. All right. Go watch Shark Week now that you enjoyed Sharks Weeks.
Yeah. Sharks Week goes with Shark Week.
Peace.
Natural Habitat Recording.